Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 3 is out, and the cover is of Himawari, who doesn't do anything the whole chapter, and the title is called Uzuhiko because of Boruto's new jutsu, Rasengan Uzuhiko. And the way the chapter starts off is with Code saying,
Rasengan Uzuhiko?
While Boruto proceeds to do his tough guy walk towards Code, and Code thinks to himself, is it the vanishing Rasengan he is good at? No, it's different. That's an invisible technique that can attack from a distance. It's useless if it's not an ambush. It's strange for him to approach brazenly. And so, Code makes a bunch of claw marks that he can pop up behind Boruto and get in close range, where he then grabs Boruto's arm, thinking that it will stop Boruto's attack since it seemingly didn't hit Code. And he says,
You seem to have a lot of confidence in that technique. Too bad it's futile if it doesn't hit.
But Boruto says, I told you, it's easy to kill you. In fact, it's already half done. And Code's like, what? And then the jutsu starts to swirl around Code's arm. He's surprised by this and he says, what is this thing clinging on me? As it continues to swirl up around his arm. And he says, what the hell is this, Boruto? And Boruto says,
I'll say it one more time, Code. This is the last warning. Take me to where the 10 Tails is. If you can't, then you'll die here.
And just like in the last chapter, Code says, don't make me laugh, Boruto. Try if you can. And then he lunges at Boruto, but he completely misses him. And then he tries again, and he says, stop moving around, as if Boruto's just gonna stop moving around. And he misses Boruto again. He's very confused, and he says, what is this movement? It's not on the level of dodging. It's not genjutsu or cloning. Then Boruto appears right behind Code, and he hits him dead on with his Rasengan Uzuhiko, where we see the chakra swirling around Boruto, kind of Rasengan-like spiraling around him. And he hits Code, and it kind of looks like a regular Rasengan when he hits Code, but Code is screaming in absolute agony, and Boruto sends him flying. However, Code's not beaten just yet. He's still able to stand. He's doing okay, at least. And Eida's like,
huh? It's over? It's a simpler technique than I thought. How is it different from an ordinary Rasengan?
And Damon says,
This shaking of the ground. Is this it, Boruto? Nah, rather than the ground, it's the planet. A move using the planet's rotation. I see. Interesting.
Now, while it doesn't last long, I did really like seeing Eida and Damon's commentary on the fight, because obviously they're not participating in it, but I do like seeing their thoughts on Boruto's power and Code's power and what's happening here. Now, it's really interesting in Damon's case, though, because for Eida, it's obvious she has the Senrigan. We know that she's literally just watching the fight. But how does Damon know what's happening? Is he just sensing the chakra rotation of the planet or whatever the heck? Like, how does he know that Boruto's doing this? He must, it's probably related to his ridiculous Shibai powers and maybe his dojutsu, to where he can just sense it or something. Either way, it's incredibly impressive that Damon, not watching the fight, just being like a mile or two away, can just tell what Boruto's doing. Like, he just knows that Boruto did this jutsu and how it works. That's actually pretty crazy. And I like seeing it. He's interested. He's like, that's pretty strong. Can't wait to beat this kid up later today. In any case, though, Boruto tells Code, I'm surprised that you can stand up from taking this. And you shouldn't be surprised, Boruto, because Naruto characters tend to do this thing where they stand up from jutsu that they shouldn't have been able to stand up from. Just look at Neji versus Naruto in the Chunin exams, or every single Naruto fight for that matter. But then we get a really interesting panel of Code and Boruto, where we see like a ton of chakra swirling around in a whirlpool, where it's a little bit unclear as to whether that's Boruto activating his jutsu, or if that's just Code being under the effects of the Rasengan Uzuhiko. I'm leaning towards that second option though, because Code immediately just falls over on the next page, as if he's incredibly dizzy or something. So I'm thinking that's like him seeing the spirals, the rotation of the planet, and then it's throwing him off balance or something like that. Because he says, damn it, what did you do? And Boruto says, savor it well. Think that this is a strike back from the planet you tried to destroy. The chakra of the planet, a Rasengan that absorbed its rotation. That is Uzuhiko. Right now, the power coursing through your body will never disappear. Just like a planet, doesn't stop its rotation. The damage will last semi-permanently. Before the rotation of the planet stops, your life will end. And Code keeps losing his balance and he falls over, and this reminds me of Dosu's sound ability in the tuning exams, because the effect is kind of similar in that it messes with Code's sense of balance and makes him dizzy, just like how Dosu messed with Rock Lee's sense of balance and made Rock Lee dizzy and nauseous, and he couldn't fight properly. I'm getting a similar vibe here. Of course, Boruto's not using sound to do this, but the effect is kind of similar. Now, Boruto goes on to say, however, if I release Usuhiko, it's a different story. Either you wait for death in silence, or hand me over the 10 tails to survive. Even if you're a fool, think carefully about it and decide. Now, Boruto just will not give up on giving Code a chance here. Like, my goodness. Obviously, he didn't actually want to kill Code, because if he did, he would never find the 10 tails. But it's just funny, like, he keeps giving him a chance over and over again. And Code just keeps not complying with Boruto's demands, and I find it hilarious. But then Kawaki shows up, and he tries to slash Boruto with his ninja tech arm, but of course Boruto dodges because he's insanely OP these days. And then Shikadai, Chocho, Inojin, and Himawari show up, and Boruto takes notice of Himawari in particular, and Shikadai asks, what are you doing in Konoha, Boruto? What were you talking about with Code? And Boruto says, we're in the middle of negotiations. Can't you stop interfering with us? Now Code tries to be sneaky and makes some claw marks so that he can escape, but Kawaki immediately notices and just shrinks him so that he can't do that. And Shikamaru asks Kawaki to report the situation, and he says, I don't know what happened, but Code seems to be quite exhausted. I just got rid of all the surrounding claw grimes to cut off his retreat. We can probably kill him. So, his freaking claw grime army's already been defeated apparently, which is kind of funny. And Shikamaru says, good, it's an opportunity that won't come again. Make sure to finish him off. And Boruto says, Kawaki, get away from Code right now. Don't provoke him. And Kawaki's as sassy and moody as ever, and he's like, who are you to order me around? Obviously, if you came to Konoha, you must be prepared to die, right, Boruto? But then Code decides to be clever. He dishes out a claw grime out of his forehead claw mark. Kawaki immediately stabs it to death. However, Code jumps into the claw mark on its back so that he can escape. Which, I mean, Code is kind of an escape artist, I will say. Like, he has an ability that makes it very easy for him to escape tricky situations. Which is nice, because I didn't want Code to just die here. I would have been really upset about that. Granted, as it is, I'm sure the Code hate is only going to skyrocket after this chapter, because Boruto completely dominated Code. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even a fight. It was kind of like the Damon fight all over again, where one person was just stomping Code. And I mean, yeah, Code does not feel menacing, like, at all right now. It was already pretty shaky as it was. I actually made a whole video talking about Code as a villain antagonistic character, where I think he's been good or bad. I think Code was menacing and a good antagonist at the beginning of the Code arc. Kawaki was having nightmares about the guy. He seemed strong. Kawaki really feared Code, and that's exactly what a menacing villain does. However, as soon as Borushiki awakened and Kawaki awakened his Karma Seal again, it really went downhill. Code lost his menacing presence as a villain. And it has not gotten any better in the time skip here, because Boruto shows up. Code was using his white Karma Seal and his limiters are removed. And base Boruto was absolutely destroying him with ease. Boruto literally has the Karma Seal too. He also has like the Horn. For all we know, he's mastered the Horn stage of his Karma Seal too. Like, there's a lot more power Boruto could have used on Code, but he didn't need it. That's how much stronger than Code he is. And Code's supposed to be stronger than Jigen, so Boruto is absolutely insanely OP. But that's besides the point. Because Boruto is so strong, because Damon is so strong, and because Kawaki is probably really strong too, it just doesn't make Code menacing whatsoever. It's not the end of the world, because I don't think Code is the NLBL anyway. The 10 Tails is the greater threat. But still, the Code 8 is gonna keep going up, I'm sure, after this chapter. And I am a little bit disappointed that he didn't, like, remotely do anything to Boruto. I'm still waiting for, like, some Code Shine. I don't just want the 10 Tails to take him over, and that's it. I would like some Code Shine first. Granted, he did get some Shine in the Code arc, but not a ton. I want more. Personally, I just want more from Code. In any case, though, Shikamaru says, damn, listen up. That doesn't mean he ran away with his tail between his legs. Hurry up and get rid of the remaining claw grime in the village. So I guess actually, never mind. Kawaki didn't get rid of all the claw grime. but they're going too easily, I'm sure. Now, Kawaki tells Shikadai and the others to go on ahead, because he has business with Boruto, which is obviously just that he plans to kill Boruto, but he probably doesn't want to do it in front of everyone, especially Himawari, because Himawari probably wouldn't want to see Kawaki kill her brother Boruto. But then we cut to Sarada, who's examining the tree that was formed when that claw grind bit that ninja in the last chapter, and she says, the 10 tails. By eating an otsutsuki, it's a beast that becomes a god tree. Its instinct might be to eat people. And the other guy says, then perhaps this is a failed god tree that ate something wrong. Sarada says, I don't know, but one thing's for sure. He's not dead yet. He's still alive. So, I find that interesting. So, the people in the trees aren't dead. I don't know if it's like they're preserving the people alive or what exactly is going on there. But I do think the other ninjas probably on the right track, that they're biting people, but because it wasn't a Otsutsuki, it's essentially a failed god tree. Something of the sort does make sense. We also saw in the car actuation arc how Victor and Deepa tried to make a pseudo-divine tree with Hashirama cells, so the idea that there can be like a failed god tree that's not proper makes sense anyway. We cut back to Kawaki and Boruto though, and Kawaki says,
It's been 3 years. What's up with that look? Did you become Uchiha's adopted child?
And Boruto chimes back saying,
I'm relieved that your sharp tongue hasn't changed. Himawari seems fine too.
There's something I did find interesting is that Boruto doesn't comment on the Uchiha part. Like, he doesn't, obviously he doesn't need to, and he's just retorting back to Kawaki. But I still find it interesting, like, they will not tell us what happened with Sasuke. It's like Kishimoto just knows how badly we want to know what happened to Sasuke, and he just won't tell us just to be mean about it. Kawaki says, though,
What are you here for? If you chose your hometown as your place of death, I'll help you. Right here and now.
And Boruto says, dying in Konoha isn't bad, but not today. Back off, Kawaki. You're in the way. And that's, Boruto spins some bars. That's a good rhyme, but not today. You're in the way. Kawaki says, though,
The only one who is in the way here now is you, Boruto. Right? Don't you think so?
And then we get by far the most interesting part of the chapter for me personally, which is we get a little rustle noise, and then a toad is on Boruto's neck, and it says, succeed in sneaking in, Boruto. Code went back to his base. And Boruto says, what about the 10 tails? And the toad says, wait, not yet. And this toad is identical to the toads Kashin Koji used all the time before he disappeared for like 30 chapters. So, I'm on the train that Koji has been working with Boruto over the time skip. At some point, Boruto met Kashin Koji and he started training Boruto. That could be because Sasuke died. It could just be both Koji and Sasuke trained Boruto. It could just be some sort of alliance thing. Who knows? But Boruto and Koji definitely met and are definitely working together. I think Koji probably started training Boruto, whether or not Sasuke is still alive. I really hope Sasuke wasn't killed off screen over the time skip, but I definitely think Koji has returned. Koji trained Boruto, and I love it. I've been waiting for Koji to return for like 10,000 years, it feels like, so this is super nice for me. This is the most hyped thing. I'm really excited to see the Kashin Koji camera toads. Boruto's using them the exact same way Koji did. There's no way there's no Kashin Koji connection here. In any case, though, Code's like, damn it, Boruto, that bastard. And we see Bug has been turned into a tree as well. And I'm kind of mad because I was hoping for Bug to be important moving forward, but he's just a tree now. He's not dead, based off of what Boruto said, but he's a tree now. I'm not so sure that they're going to do a whole lot with him moving forward. I also find it funny how Code just doesn't pay attention to the tree Bug here. I don't know if he just doesn't care or if Bug's just been like that for several days and Code's just used to it at this point. He's moved on. But he looks down at the 10 tails, and so does the camera toad that's on Code's hip that he just didn't notice. It's staring at the 10 tails and it says, confirmed, it's 10 tails, and Boruto's like, good. So he's either able to see it or he's just able to talk to it. With Kashin Koji, it seemed as though he literally was like able to see out of the camera. I'm not sure if Boruto can do the same thing, but at the very least, he can definitely talk to the toad as it's recording or whatever it's doing. And the 10 tails main body looks a lot like a claw grind now because it's been split up into multiple parts, but we are still seeing what looks like all 10 of its tails there. So that's the 10 tails main body, is just tiny now. And it also looks kind of humanoid, just like all the other claw grind. And I'm just curious, like, what this means moving forward. Boruto is really hung up on finding this 10 tails main body, and I really just want to know what exactly Boruto learned about the 10 tails. I'm assuming from Kashin Koji at this point, not from Sasuke, because Koji has more intel on Jigen and the Otsutsuki by working with Amato. So, I don't know, I'm just curious what the deal is. I can't wait for the Kashin Koji return. That should be coming soon. Like, I can't imagine Kashin Koji's dead now. I would be really bad if he is dead too. So, I want to see the Kashin Koji return. I'm hyped for it. The final text in the chapter says, Boruto drove away Code with the overwhelming power of his technique. What about the two gammas that follow? Which is referring to the toads, gamma, toad. Yeah, I don't know. This chapter was interesting. There's not a ton of major plot revelations to it here. The biggest one is really just Kashin Koji, baby. He's coming back. He probably trained Boruto. And then we're just getting more of the mystery of the 10 tails stuff. And the claw grind, turning people in the trees. Bugs tree now. But I'm curious what you guys think about this chapter. So first off, what do you think about Boruto's new jutsu? I think it's pretty cool. It's unique. It's a lot like Chidori's stream, but like Rasengan style. It messes with your senses like Gosu's sound ability. So I like the ability. But how do you feel about Ko just getting stomped by Boruto in base, mind you? Boruto is very, very strong. I would have liked Ko to be more of a threat here. Now, hopefully, I mean, I'm clinging to hope on Ko for dear life here. I would like to see Ko power up again or something so they can actually be a threat. Because as it is, Damon's stronger than Code, Boruto's stronger than Code, Eida can't be hurt by Code because of her ability. Kawaki's probably stronger than Code too, let's be real. For all I know, Mitsuki's stronger than Code, so it's like, okay, I need Code to be... I want Code to actually be a threat, not just the 10 tails. The way it's looking, it's more so the 10 tails, but I would like Code himself to actually be a threat too. And also, we still haven't seen Amato, dude. Like, where the heck is this guy? I'm starting to get convinced that he's just locked up in prison because Shikamaru had enough of his nonsense and his lies. But maybe one day we'll see Amato again. I'm hyped for that too. And what do you guys think about the Kashin Koji toads with Boruto? Are you with me that Kashin Koji probably met up and started training Boruto? Are you hyped to see his return? And what do you think is the deal with Sasuke? Is he dead? Is he alive? Is he just hiding? Is Sasuke, Koji, and Boruto all three working together? What do you think's the deal there? And again, I guess, what do you think is the mystery of the 10 tails, since we didn't learn what that was still? Do you think it's something to do with the Otsutsuki and how an Otsutsuki becomes a 10 tails? A 10 tails becomes an Otsutsuki? Something completely new because of Code's claw marks? What do you think the deal is there? And lastly, do you think Boruto is actually going to fight Kawaki in the upcoming chapters here? Because Kawaki very clearly wants to just fight Boruto here and now. He doesn't want to wait on this. Obviously, Boruto doesn't want to do that, but do you think Boruto will get his way? Or do you think Kawaki will get his way? And also, what about Mitsuki? We still haven't seen him for a couple chapters. Do you think he's going to show up and start trying to fight Boruto too? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below, but that's a wrap on today's video, so thank you guys for watching until the end.
You're already under my genjutsu.
Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, like the video, check out my podcast channel, check out Peak Fiction, become a member, and hit the bell icon for notifications.
Sorry, Sasuke. Maybe some other time.
Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.